A Psychiatry Website Guide. Chapter 1. A Psychiatry Website Guide at dmoz-odp.org/health/medicine/medical_specialties/psychiatry. Psychiatry websites at dmoz-odp.org/health/medicine/medical_specialties/psychiatry. Subcategories: clinics and practitioners, academic departments, associations, evidence-based practice, journals. United Kingdom. Related categories: health, mental health, health nursing specialties, psychiatric, science, social sciences, psychology. dhs.vic.gov.au/acmh/mh/clip, consultation and liaison manual, a model and manual developed in Australia to assist mental health services staff and general practitioners work together more efficiently. gpnotebook.co.uk/simplepage.cfm?ID =577437709, General Practice Notebook, Psychiatry, coverage of this medical speciality. naphs.org/index.html, National Association of Psychiatric Health Systems, NAPS offers advocacy, clinical, financial, and administrative resources for psychiatric patients and providers while working to coordinate a full spectrum of psychiatric treatment services. oecos.org/antipsycen.htm, The Dark Side of Psychiatry, links to articles and critical documents on neuropsychiatry. psychiatricconsultations.co.uk, Psychiatry Direct, help and information on a wide range of mental health issues including depression, anxiety, stress, eating disorders, and addictions. psychiatry24x7.com, Psychiatry 24x7, personalized resource focused on psychiatry, with a mix of topical news, Congress information, education, and interactive features in schizophrenia, depression, dementia. residentphysician.com/psychiatry_rankings.htm, The official ranking of U.S. psychiatry residency departments, official ranking of psychiatry residency departments according to their NIH funding. utsouthwestern.edu/psychoendo, Psychoneuroendocrinology Research Group, describes current research studies for mood and dual diagnosis disorders at Southwestern Medical in Dallas, Texas. Psychiatric clinic and practitioner websites. Subcategories: United Kingdom, United States. ltspeed.com/bj Blinder, Blinder, Barton J., MD. Blinder's curriculum vitae, papers and publications, as well as a chapter of his co-authored major medical book. wellpsych.com, Comprehensive Psychiatric Associates. A multidisciplinary group practice providing outpatient mental health services for children, adolescents, adults, and families. cybershRink2000.tripod.com, Drive. Cherry's homepage. A psychiatrist who specializes in grief, anxiety, depression, and spiritual counseling online from India. FelixKleemanMD.com, Felix Kleeman MD. Board-certified psychiatrist located in NYC. Experience treating a wide variety of mental health issues. forensic-psych.com, Harold J. Verstagen, MD. Medical, psychiatric and forensic expert, offering information, articles, and links for health and legal professionals and the general public. GatewayPsychiatric.com, Gateway Psychiatric Services. Psychiatric care, professional education, and clinical research services by a multidisciplinary team of psychiatrists and therapists, San Francisco. LawsonClinic.com.au, The Lawson Clinic. Psychiatrists in Sydney, Australia who specialize in the diagnosis and treatment of anxiety, depression, and bipolar disorder. Lucanio.co.za, Lucanio Psychiatric Clinic. Mental health facility resulting from democratic health practice in South Africa. Offers specialized, professional assessments and treatment. McGuroCounseling.com, McGuro Counseling Center. Counseling Center in Tokyo, Japan with Western-trained psychiatrists/therapists. ncpamd.com, Northern County Psychiatric Associates. Large site with categorized original articles. Also includes mental health handouts for kids. Psychiatry.co.il, Drive. Shem David, MD. A psychiatrist specialist practicing in Tel Aviv, Israel. Conducts assessments for legal and clinical purposes. Psychiatry Academic Department websites. bcm.edu/psychiatry, Baylor College of Medicine Department of Psychiatry. An interdisciplinary academic psychiatry service located at the Baylor College of Medicine in Houston, Texas. fhs.mcmaster.ca/psychiatry neuroscience/index.html, McMaster University Department of Psychiatry, Canada. McMaster offers many links of interest to current or future psychiatry residents and practicing psychiatrists. med.miami.edu/psychiatry/index.html, University of Miami Psychiatry. Details of current research and treatment programs for patients as well as faculty, facility, and residency information for students and physicians in training. med.nyu.edu/psych, New York University Department of Psychiatry. Patient self-screening tools, a reference desk, residency topics, and CME are offered. med.umich.edu/psych, University of Michigan Department of Psychiatry. Information about psychiatric education, research, and care at the University of Michigan. medaps.med.harvard.edu/psych, Harvard Medical School, Department of Psychiatry. Harvard provides links describing their mission, organization, clinical services, research, education, and training, integrated programs, and faculty affairs. musk.edu/psychiatry, University of South Carolina Department of Psychiatry. Research, residency, faculty, and conference links are provided. Clinical services information for regional patients is also available. Psychiatry.arizona.edu, University of Arizona Department of Psychiatry. Many links about psychiatric research and training. Psychiatry.ox.ac.uk, Oxford University Department of Psychiatry. Staff, current research, practice, education, and department specialty groups at this English university are described. Psychiatry.ubc.ca, University of British Columbia Department of Psychiatry. The UBC offers information about their department and training opportunities at the school. Psychiatry.uchicago.edu, University of Chicago Psychiatry. Complete departmental information as well as resources for practitioners, trainees, and patients are found here. Psychiatry.unimelb.edu.au, Melbourne, Department of Psychiatry. This Australian university site provides links about their department, undergraduate teaching, postgraduate studies, and research. Psychiatry.wisc.edu, University of Wisconsin Department of Psychiatry. Residency and faculty information is provided. scm.edu/medpsy, Southern Illinois University Division of Medicine Psychiatry. A description of the division includes the faculty and staff, educational responsibilities, patient access information and educational resources for medical students, residents, and other interested parties. Stanford.edu/department/PBS, Stanford University Psychiatry Department. Information about the residency, including downloadable application forms, faculty, and the Department of Psychiatry at Stanford. ucdmc.ucdavis.edu/psychiatry, University of California Davis Department of Psychiatry. Site provides information about the department, including information on services provided, faculty, training program, and fellowships. umm.edu/psych, University of Maryland Psychiatry Department. Department, postgraduate training, research, and patient services information is displayed. wpic.pit.edu, University of Pittsburgh Department of Psychiatry. Department Education, Research, and Clinical Care Information. Psychiatry Association websites. AAAP.org, American Academy of Addiction Psychiatry. A medical organization which promotes prevention, research, and treatment of addictive illnesses. AACAP.org, American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry. Information for psychiatrists and families about developmental, behavioral, emotional, and mental disorders affecting children and adolescents. AAPL.org, American Academy of Psychiatry and the Law. Details describing forensic psychiatry, how to contact a forensic psychiatrist, and how to complete training in the field. ABPN.com, American Board of Psychiatry and Neurology, Inc. Certifying organization for neurologists and psychiatrists. ACNP.org, the American College of Neuropsychopharmacology. The principal function of the college, ACNP, is to further research and education in neuropsychopharmacology and related fields. AGLP.org, Association of Gay and Lesbian Psychiatrists, AGLP. A professional organization of psychiatrists, residents, and medical students. CPA-APC.org, Canadian Psychiatric Association. National organization presents details of services and membership. EAGP.com, European Association of Geriatric Psychiatry. Informal Association of Psychiatrists, Neurologists, Neuropathologists, Psychologists, and Sociologists working with geriatric psychiatry, with 250 members in 26 European countries. IPA-ONLINE.org, International Psychogeriatric Association. An international community of scientists and healthcare geriatric professionals working for mental health and aging. PSIQUIATRIA-CL.org, Consultation/Liaison Psychiatry. Portuguese group of CL psychiatrists in the Health Center and General Hospital. Meetings, abstracts, and task groups. Psychiatry.org, American Psychiatric Association. Includes news, clinical and research resources, public policy advocacy information, and schedule of events. rcpsych.ac.uk, Royal College of Psychiatrists. The professional and educational body for psychiatrists in the United Kingdom and the Republic of Ireland. wpanet.org, World Psychiatric Association. An organization of psychiatric societies aimed at advancing psychiatric and mental health education, research, clinical care, and public policy. Evidence-based practice psychiatry websites. healthcare.uiowa.edu/icmh/evidence, Iowa Consortium for Mental Health, Evidence-Based Practices. Categorized resources of mental health and substance abuse interventions. JAD-journal.com/article/S0165-0327 left /15 right /001512/ full text, dose equivalence of antidepressants, evidence-based recommendations from randomized controlled trials. Examines dose equivalencies of antidepressants based on randomized evidence, rather than on more arbitrary and less systematic defined dose or consensus methods. 2015. jop.sagepub.com/content/30/6/495.long, evidence-based guidelines for treating bipolar disorder, revised 3rd edition recommendations from the British Association for Psychopharmacology. The guidelines cover the diagnosis of bipolar disorder, its clinical management, and strategies for the use of medicines in treatment of episodes, relapse prevention and stopping treatment, integrated with psychoeducation and behavior change. 2016. link.springer.com/article/10.1007/S11920-013-03814/full text.html, pediatric depression, an evidence-based update on treatment interventions. Summarizes recent evidence in order to provide practical guidance to primary care providers on the management of pediatric depression in their clinical practices. 2013. mdpi.com/2077-0383/5/11/105/HDM, post-traumatic stress disorder, overview of evidence-based assessment and TRE. A review of the characteristics of PTSD along with associated risk factors, and evidence-based measures that can be used to screen for and monitor PTSD, highlighting commonly used, evidence-based psychotherapies and pharmacotherapies. 2016. ncbi.nlm.nih.gov/pmc/articles/pmc32195117, The Clinical Management of Bipolar Disorder, a review of evidence-based guidelines. Reviews the diagnostic criteria, differential diagnosis, and the current evidence-based treatments of bipolar disorders. 2011. ncbi.nlm.nih.gov/pubmedhealth/pmh00842997, Non-pharmacological versus pharmacological treatments for adult patients with major depressive disorder. Compares the benefits and harms of second-generation antidepressants, SGAs, psychological, complementary and alternative medicine, and exercise treatment options, both as first-step interventions for adults with major depressive disorder, MDD, and as second-step interventions for those not achieving remission after SGA therapy. 2015. ncbi.nlm.nih.gov/pmc/articles/pmc335360 Treatment-resistant schizophrenia, evidence-based strategies. Systematic literature review of and recommendations for the pharmacological management of refractory schizophrenia. ncbi.nlm.nih.gov/pmc/articles/pmc48913115, Pharmacotherapy of acute bipolar depression in adults, an evidence-based approach. Explores the pharmacotherapy of the depressive phase of bipolar disorder, restricted to medications for which there is observational, open-label, or double-blind randomized controlled-based evidence. nrep.samhsa.gov, NREP, National Registry of Evidence-Based Programs and Practices. Searchable database of interventions for mental and substance use disorders. From the U.S. Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, SAMHSA. onlinelibrary.wiley.com/doi/10.1111/bdi.12026/full, Evidence-based treatment strategies for treatment-resistant bipolar depression, a systematic review. Review of randomized controlled trials, RCTs, of ketamine, modafinil, pramipexole, lamotrigine, inositol, risperidone, and electroconvulsive therapy for treatment-resistant bipolar depression. Psychiatry.org/practice/clinical-practice-guidelines, American Psychiatric Association Clinical Practice Guidelines. Evidence-based recommendations for the assessment and treatment of psychiatric disorders. Systematic reviews, journal.biomed-central.com/articles/10.86/13643-016-0325-2, a systematic review of St. John's wort for major depressive disorder. Evaluation of St. John's wort, SJW, for the treatment of major depressive disorder, MDD, to determine 1. its efficacy and safety compared to placebo and to active comparator, and 2. whether the effects vary by severity of MDD. 2016. wjgnet.com/2220-3206/full/v2/i6/86.hdm, obsessive compulsive disorder, evidence-based treatments and future directions for research. Review focusing on the current state-of-the-art in treatment for OCD, limitations that must still be overcome, and suggestions for future avenues of research. Psychiatry Journal websites. ajp.psychiatryonline.org, American Journal of Psychiatry. Journal of the American Psychiatric Association, APA. apt.rcpsych.org, Advances in Psychiatric Treatment. Offers abstracts and some full-text articles. Published by the Royal College of Psychiatrists. archpsych.ama-assn.org, Archives of General Psychiatry. The Archives of General Psychiatry strives to publish original, state-of-the-art studies and commentaries of general interest to clinicians, scholars, and research scientists in psychiatry, mental health, behavioral science, and allied fields. bjp.rcpsych.org, British Journal of Psychiatry. Published monthly by the Royal College of Psychiatrists. Full text online version. childpsych.theclinics.com, Child and Adolescent Psychiatric Clinics of North America. Each issue focuses on a single topic in child and adolescent psychiatry and is presented under the direction of an experienced guest editor. cnsspectrums.com, CNS Spectrums. Monthly journal which addresses current relevant neuropsychiatric topics and reports on the diagnostic connections in the neurological field. currentpsychiatry.com, Current Psychiatry. Provides practitioners with up-to-date practical advice by leading authorities, emphasizing solutions to common clinical problems. ectjournal.com, Journal of ECT. Covers aspects of contemporary electroconvulsive therapy, reporting on major clinical and research developments worldwide. Focus.psychiatryonline.org, Focus, the Journal of Lifelong Learning in Psychiatry. Designed for practicing psychiatrists to keep abreast of significant advances in the field, while developing self-directed lifelong learning skills. intclinpsychopharm.com, International Clinical Psychopharmacology. This journal is largely concerned with psychotropic drugs, covering Phase I-4 studies, clinical studies, side effects, and epidemiology. jaacap.com, Journal of the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry. Subscription information for this publication which focuses on research and treatment of the child and adolescent disorders. jwatch.org/psychiatry, Journal Watch Psychiatry. Expert physicians review journal articles that impact medical professionals in the field of psychiatry. pb.rcpsych.org, Psychiatric Bulletin. Includes future titles, abstracts, and some full-text articles. Published by the Royal College of Psychiatrists. pn.psychiatryonline.org, Psychiatric News. The newspaper of the American Psychiatric Association, APA. practicalpsychiatry.com, Journal of Psychiatric Practice. Formerly the Journal of Practical Psychiatry and Behavioral Health. Provides up-to-date and accurate information for psychiatrists and psychologists in private practice. primarypsychiatry.com, Primary Psychiatry. Reviews contemporary mental health issues in practical details, providing primary care physicians and psychiatrists with vital and relevant information. psych.theclinics.com, Psychiatric Clinics of North America. Each issue focuses on a single topic in psychiatry and is presented under the direction of a guest editor. psychgenetics.com, Psychiatric Genetics. International journal devoted to studies on inherited factors in disorders of the brain and behavior. Table of contents, editorial board, author guide, and subscription information. psychiatrist.com, Journal of Clinical Psychiatry. Offers tables of contents, full text for subscribers, and free CME activities. United Kingdom Psychiatry websites. kcl.ac.uk/IOP, Institute of Psychiatry at Maudsley. Academic Community for Study and Prevention of Mental Health Problems. Part of King's College, London. psych.ox.ac.uk, Department of Psychiatry. Works with clinical services, particularly Oxford Health NHS Foundation Trust, to conduct world-class research and to teach psychiatry to medical students. psychiatryresearchtrust.co.uk, the Psychiatry Research Trust. Raises funds for research into all aspects of mental illness and brain disorder. View news, events, and details of how to offer help. The professional and educational body for all psychiatrists in the UK and the Republic of Ireland. Psychiatric nursing websites. plainsclinic.com/drhunter/noz30.html, Nurses Observation Scale for Inpatient Evaluation. Offers a printable version of the Ward Behavior Rating Scale. Incorporates norms from a sample of 630 chronic schizophrenic patients. psychnursing.tripod.com, Psychiatric Nursing in Canada. Information and links for the health professional and consumer. Psychiatrist relationship therapy websites. FelixKleemanMD.com, Felix Kleeman MD, board-certified psychiatrist located in NYC. Experience treating a wide variety of mental health issues. FORENSIC-PSYCH.com, Harold J. Berstachn, MD, medical, psychiatric and forensic expert, offering information, articles, and links for health and legal professionals and the general public. GatewayPsychiatric.com, Gateway Psychiatric Services, psychiatric care, professional education, and clinical research services by a multidisciplinary team of psychiatrists and therapists, San Francisco. LawsonClinic.com.au, the Lawson Clinic, psychiatrists in Sydney, Australia who specialize in the diagnosis and treatment of anxiety, depression, and bipolar disorder. Lucanio.co.za, Lucanio Psychiatric Clinic, mental health facility resulting from democratic health practice in South Africa. Offers specialized, professional assessments and treatment. MaguroCounseling.com, Maguro Counseling Center, counseling center in Tokyo, Japan with Western-trained psychiatrists/therapists. NCPAMD.com, Northern County Psychiatric Associates, large site with categorized original articles. Also includes mental health handouts for kids. Psychiatry.co.il, Drive. Shem David, MD, a psychiatrist specialist practicing in Tel Aviv, Israel. Conducts assessments for legal and clinical purposes. Wellpsych.com, Comprehensive Psychiatric Associates, a multidisciplinary group practice providing outpatient mental health services for children, adolescents, adults, and families. abcpsychiatric.com, Child and Adult New York Psychiatrist, Adult, Child and Adolescent Psychiatrist located in Forest Hills Gardens, New York. Website lists services available for both adults and children, some biographical information about the doctor and contact information. AtlantaPsychiatry.com, Psychiatric Associates of Atlanta, psychiatric practice in Atlanta, Georgia. Lists information about available services for attorneys interested in competency, the insanity defense, criminal responsibility, and other medical legal issues. Also lists information for prospective patients, including forms and links to news about mental health. AustinRiggs.org, Austin Riggs Psychiatric Hospital, non-profit hospital in Stockbridge, Massachusetts specializing in psychotherapeutic treatment. Website gives information about admissions, treatment, research, donation, and publications. Contact information for media, alumni, and patients is also provided. BirminghamCounselingCenter.com, Birmingham Counseling Center, PC, lists services provided, insurances accepted, and types of patients treated. Birmingham, Michigan. BrackenMentalHealth.com, Bracken Mental Health, a Garland, Texas psychiatric practice that focuses on medication management. The website offers basic information about the office, forms and financial information. Contact information is also present. Brainstorm.com, Brainstem, LLC, Delray Beach, Florida practice that provides treatment with transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS. For depression and substance abuse information about the usage and safety of TMS, along with practice contact information and links are provided. BruceWilkhMD.info, Bruce Welch, MD, St. Petersburg, Florida specialist in forensic, addiction and general psychiatry. Site includes a personal and professional history, office photographs, contact information, and directions. BuckeyePsych.com, Buckeye Psychiatry, a Dublin, Ohio-based psychiatric practice. Site contains information about the psychiatrist, the philosophy of the practice and the types of conditions treated, links to local support groups and a blog. CBHCF.com, Comprehensive Behavioral Healthcare of Central Florida, LLC, practice located in Celebration, Florida, offering information about psychiatric, substance abuse, forensic and urgent services available. Also offers information about the doctor, patient forms and contact information. cognitive-psychiatry.com, Cognitive Psychiatry of Chapel Hill, practice based in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Information about the doctor, her training and publications, services offered, fees and office policies are provided. Also provides a link to forms, the doctor's blog and information about several common psychiatric issues. CommonSenseMedical.com, Fenton, Ann, MD, Psychiatric Practice of Drive. Ann Fenton in Wellesley, Massachusetts, offering services to children, adolescents, and adults. CPA-KC.com, psychiatrists and other providers in Gladstone, Missouri. Information about the practice, types of services and treatment offered, both inpatient and outpatient, policies regarding medication refills, links to forms and additional resources. CTPsychWellness.com, Connecticut Psychiatric and Wellness Center, New Haven, Connecticut Psychiatric Practices website gives information about the psychiatrist, staff, directions, contact information, and links to several articles. CuttingGePsychiatry.com, Family Psychiatry, practice located in Westlake Village, California, whose website gives contact information, an introduction to the doctor, a list of conditions treated and fee information. DavidaBrownEMD.com, Brown, David A., MD, located in Petaluma, Novato, and Belmarin Keys, California. Website gives basic information about the doctor's training, services, and clinical approach. Some contact information is listed. davidhellerstein.tripod.com/psychiat.hdm, Hellerstein, David, MD, general psychiatrist, and author. Links to several articles and book excerpts. NYC, New York. Deershrink.com, Deershrink.com, provides a description of this Seattle-based practice and includes mental health care information and discussions. DrDavidEK.com, David D. Caminister, MD, Concord, Massachusetts-based psychiatrist. Information about the doctor, types of psychotherapies practiced and how to contact the office. drmaz.com, Yvonne L. Mazarana Jr., MD, FT. Myers, Florida-based psychiatrist whose website offers information about the services provided, brief biographies of the staff, financial policies, forms and contact information. DunamKim.com, Dunam Kim, MD, a New York City-based psychiatrist. Lists credentials, information about his clinical and forensic psychiatric practice. drbandfield.com, Andrea Bandfield, MD, psychiatrist, a private psychiatrist in Greenville, South Carolina. Provides credentials and office details. drdavidbrendel.com, David Brendel, MD, psychiatrist located in Belmont, Massachusetts, specializing in treatment of patients with many different psychiatric disorders. His website offers practice information, materials, and information for doctors, patients and media. Contact information is also included. drgregorymarcella.com, Marcella, Gregory, MD, Boca Raton, Florida-based practitioner's website offers curriculum vitae of the psychiatrist and information about his clinical trials and Neurostar RTMS treatment. A contact form is also present. drmiapapagallo.com, Papagallo, Mia, MD, New York City-based psychiatrist's website gives information about the doctor, the services she provides and financial policy information. drtroypsychiatry.com, Troy, Benjamin, MD, Mishawaka, Indiana-based child and adolescent practice. Website includes information about Drive. Troy, location information, and links to relevant websites and articles. drzebrun.net, John Z. Brun, MD, Northampton, Massachusetts psychiatric practice. Site provides information about the doctor, practice philosophy, contact information, and helpful external links. There is also information for referring physicians. ElitePsychiatry.com, Elite Psychiatry, Alpharetta, Georgia psychiatrist giving information about his training and his practice. Contact information and patient forms are available online. Patients can schedule their appointments online. ExpertPsychiatrist.net, Schwartz, Paul, MD, Westchester, Ohio psychiatrist and psychotherapist. His website gives information about the psychiatrist, including information about the type of psychiatry and psychotherapy he practices. Website also includes contact information and information about the doctor's background. FairmountBHS.com, Fairmount Behavioral Health System, psychiatric inpatient facility located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Information given about the facility, its programs, patient satisfaction surveys, bed availability, contact information. FrederickHwangMD.com, Frederick Y. Hwang, MD, psychiatrist in the Presidio Heights district of San Francisco. Information about his education, training, professional memberships, and the types of treatment that are offered. A map to the office and a frequently asked questions page are also included. HighlandsBHS.com, Highlands Behavioral Health System, psychiatric inpatient facility located in Littleton, Colorado offering information about treatment for children, adolescents, and adults, in the inpatient, outpatient and partial hospital settings. Website gives information about admissions and contact information. HuntsvillePsychiatrist.com, Hayden, Charles MD, a brief site giving information about the psychiatrist working at the Asbury Child and Family Counseling Center, in Madison, Alabama. InnerIlluminations.com, Inner Illuminations, LLC, R. Robert Escuchan, Jr., MD. Provides information about his practice, policies, fees, and location. InsightfulMinds.org, Insightful Minds, Inc., Newport Beach, California practice. Describes types of services available to children, adolescents, and adults, including the conditions that are treated. Directions, contact information, and background information on the doctor are also provided. JeannieTSCMD.com, Set, Jeannie, MD, New York City-based psychiatrist who practices privately with adults, teens, and children. Her website gives information about these areas, the background of the doctor and contact information. JeanJanotaBolen.com, Bolen, Jean S., MD, Jungian analyst and author, focusing on women's issues. Practice in California. KellyCowanMD.com, Kelly Cowan, MD, psychiatrist located in the San Antonio, Texas area specializing in adult and geriatric psychiatry, dementia, and Alzheimer's disease. The website offers information about the doctor, her specialty, contact information for physicians and patients and a brief biography of the doctor. KiraStein.com, Kira Stein, MD, Los Angeles, California general and reproductive medicine psychiatrist whose website reviews her practice philosophy and therapeutic approaches, as well as provides general information about psychiatric illness and treatments. Limberries.com, Limberis, Maria, MD, a Los Angeles forensic psychiatrist who also practices privately, psychotherapy with medication treatment. The website offers information about the doctor, forensic and the private psychiatric practice, qualifications of the doctor and contact information. MichiganIntegrative.com, Michigan Integrative Psychiatry, PC, Ann Arbor, Michigan psychiatric practice giving brief information about the practice, a welcome letter, patient forms and directions to the office. NatKoon.com, Kuhn, Nat, MD, psychiatry practice located in Belmont, Massachusetts, specializing in short-term psychotherapy and medication treatment. NewOrleansPsychiatry.com, Deegan J. Dancero MD, New Orleans psychiatrist. Provides links to information about several types of mental illness, his curriculum vitae and the ability to make appointments online. newportpsych.com, Tweety. Rotunda, MD, lists services offered, testimonials, resources, policies and information about appointments and fees for services. Patient forms may also be downloaded. Newport Beach, California. PaloAltoPsych.com, VinQ. Thai, MD, Psychiatry Practice of Drive. Vintai, located in Palo Alto, California. Gives background information, practice specialization, contact, and location information. Also includes the doctor's blog. PrincetonPsychiatrist.com, Yitzhak Schnaps, MD, psychiatric practice located in Skillman, New Jersey. Site gives information about the doctor, services available, contact information, links to other resources and a blog. PsychiatristScottsdale.com, Scottsdale Mental Health Care, Scottsdale, Arizona psychiatrist whose website gives information and contact numbers for the doctor, information about various types of mental illness and useful links. RalphBarati.com, Ralph Barati, MD, multidisciplinary practice located in Wichita, Kansas. Site gives information about the practitioners, locations, services, and includes a patient area to access clinical forms. RetreatAteaspoon.org, The Retreat at Shepherd Pratt, located in Baltimore, Maryland. Information about the facility, its history, location, and types of treatments offered. RexMoodYMD.com, Rex Moody, MD, psychiatrist and psychotherapist in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. His website offers information about his practice. This includes a description of his philosophy of treatment, his background, contact information, and information about fees. RiverviewPsychiatric.com, Riverview Psychiatric Medicine, PC, Poughkeepsie, New York-based psychiatric practices website provides information about the practice, staff, and treatment-resistant depression. Contact information and forms are also provided. RobinShapiroMD.com, Robin Shapiro, MD, Chicago-based psychiatrist gives information about the services she provides, her background and training, fees, and contact information. ScottsdaleBehavioralHealth.com, Scottsdale Behavioral Health, LLC, psychiatric practice in Scottsdale, Arizona. Information about the psychiatrists, services provided, contact information and links to resources. Downloadable forms are also provided. SierraVistaHospital.com, Sierra Vista Hospital, psychiatric hospital, located in Sacramento, California. Website gives information about types of treatment provided, patients treated, employment opportunities, contact information and a link to the Jason Foundation. SolsticeNEC.com, Solstice Psychiatric Consulting, PC, psychiatrist located in New York City specializing in the treatment of mood and anxiety disorders, addictions, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and issues involving the workplace. SpectrumPsychiatry.com, Spectrum Psychiatry, Vivek Agnihotri, MD. And Zinnia Thomas, MD. Practicing in St. Louis, Missouri. Includes FAQ, forms and credentials. SBirashadMD.com, Sandhya Prashad, MD, psychiatrist located in Bel Air, Texas whose practice focuses on general and women's reproductive health psychiatry. Her website offers information about services available, contact information and resources. StephenSobelMD.com, Stephen Sobel, MD, San Diego, California psychiatrist site listing information about his practice, his curriculum vitae, services provided, patient forms and a listing of the insurance plans with which he participates. Also includes links, directions, and comments by other mental health practitioners about the doctor. StephenHogue.com/forensic%20 psychiatrist/index.html, Stephen K. Hogue, MD, forensic psychiatrist located in New York City, New York. Gives an extensive listing of services available, biographical information about the doctor, peer-reviewed publications, and contact information. tcffp.org, the Center for Family Psychiatry, multidisciplinary child, adolescent, and adult psychiatry practice located in Tyrone, Georgia. Lists information about the practice, the staff, and the doctors, FAQs, forms and links to relevant sites. Also has a glossary and photo gallery. tmshealthandwellness.com, TMS Health and Wellness, a psychiatric practice specializing in transcranial magnetic stimulation or TMS therapy. The website offers extensive information about the procedure, along with fees and contact information. Located in Lakewood, California. tmsofwestchester.com, Transcranial Magnetic Stimulation of Westchester, New York, website about practice specializing in transcranial magnetic stimulation, located in Bedford Hills, New York. The website offers information about the doctor and staff, depression, and transcranial magnetic stimulation. Contact information is also provided. UnionsQUARITMS.com, Union Square TMS Center, New York City-based psychiatric practice offering information about transcranial magnetic stimulation treatment. Website offers information about psychiatric disorders, insurance coverage information and contact information. WhiteCareClinic.com, White Care Clinic, Rockford, Illinois-based psychiatric clinic. Information about the psychiatrist and his clinic, links to several sources of information and contact information for the clinic. WinnerPsychiatry.com, Winner Psychiatry, site lists credentials of and information about Joel Winner, MD, psychiatrist in Boulder, Colorado. Site also includes types of patients that are treated, payment policies and contact information. Chapter 2. A Psychiatry Website Guide from feedspot.com. A list of psychiatry websites and blogs from blog.feedspot.com/psychiatry_blogs. ajp.psychiatryonline.org. artofpsychiatry.co.uk. asianjournalofpsychiatry.com. bizomadness.blogspot.com. blog.stephenreedboardmd.com. breegegan.com. bulletpsych.com/blog. captrainingdirectorblog.blogspot.com. carlatpsychiatry.blogspot.com. cognitive-psychiatry.com/videos-blog. criticalpsychiatry.blogspot.com. crossbowlectures.com/blog. drpsychobabble.com. drbrucecare.com/blog. drchristianheim.com/blog. drmarcelstastny.co.za. happinesspsychiatrist.com/in-the-news. historypsychiatry.com. independentpsychiatry.com/blog-2. irishpsychiatry.ie/blog. judytsafryrmd.com. kungfupsychiatry.com/articles. madinamerica.com. mdpsych.org/news. medscape.com/psychiatry. mokegeriatricpsychiatry.com/blog. mtpsychiatry.com/category/blog. nowpsych.com/blog. paulmorrison.org/blog. psych.ox.ac.uk/news. psychiatricnews.wordpress.com. psychiatrictimes.com. psychiatrist-blogspot.com. psychiatristupdate.wordpress.com. psychiatryadvisor.com. psychiatryatlanta.com/blog. psychiatrycenter.co.uk/blog. psychiatrytalk.com. psychiatryunplugged.com. psychologytoday.com/us/basics/psychiatry. psychologytoday.com/us/blog/mind-matters-meninger. psychotropical.com. psychstaffing.com/news. real-psychiatry.blogspot.com. readyt.com/r/psychiatry. refusingpsychiatry.blogspot.com. samfellows.com/philosophyofp Psychiatry blog. sciencedaily.com/news/mind_brain/psychiatry. The Amazing World of Psychiatry.wordpress.com. trinergyhealth.com/blog. youtube.com/user/rcof psychiatrists/videos. blog.feedspot.com/top-psychiatry-rss-feeds. blog.feedspot.com/psychiatry_blogs. feedspot.com/news/psychiatry. A list of psychiatry news feeds from blog.feedspot.com/top-psychiatry-rss-feeds. ajp.psychiatryonline.org. artofpsychiatry.co.uk. asianjournalofpsychiatry.com. bizomadness.blogspot.com. blog.stephenreedboardmd.com. breachigen.com. bulletpsych.com/blog. cap training director blog.blogspot.com. carlatpsychiatry.blogspot.com. cognitives-psychiatry.com/videos-blog. criticalpsychiatry.blogspot.com. crossbowlectures.com/blog. drpsychobabble.com. drbruescare.com/blog. drchristianheim.com/blog. drmarcelstastny.co.za. happinesspsychiatrist.com/in-the-news. historypsychiatry.com. independentpsychiatry.com/blog-2. integrativepsychiatry.net/blog. irishpsychiatry.ie/blog. judytsafryrmd.com. kungfupsychiatry.com/articles. madinamerica.com. mdpsych.org/news. medscape.com/psychiatry. mokegeriatricpsychiatry.com/blog. mtpsychiatry.com/category/blog. nowpsych.com/blog. paulmorrison.org/blog. psych.ox.ac.uk/news. psychiatricnews.wordpress.com. psychiatrictimes.com. psychiatrist-blogspot.com. psychiatristupdate.wordpress.com. psychiatryadvisor.com. psychiatryatlanta.com/blog. psychiatrycenter.co.uk/blog. psychiatrytalk.com. psychiatryunplugged.com. psychologytoday.com/us/basics/psychiatry. psychologytoday.com/us/blog/mind-matters-meninger. psychotropical.com. psychstaffing.com/news. real-psychiatry.blogspot.com. readyt.com/r/psychiatry. refusingpsychiatry.blogspot.com. samfellows.com/philosophyofp Psychiatry blog. sciencedaily.com/news/mind_brain/psychiatry. The Amazing World of Psychiatry.wordpress.com. trinergyhealth.com/blog. youtube.com/user/rcof psychiatrists/videos. A list of psychiatry podcasts from blog.feedspot.com/psychiatry_podcasts. ajp.psychiatryonline.org/audio. conceptsinpsychiatry.com/podcast-2. drchristianheim.com/podcast-1. jfmore.libzn.com. listennotes.com/podcast/psychiatry-suny-health-sciences-tjg67slsjdw. mdedge.com/podcasts/psychcast. podbean.com/podcast-details/zdpu7-91c3b/the-carlat-psychiatry-podcast. podtail.com/en/podcast/the-journal-of-clinical-psychiatry-publisher-s-pod. psychedpodcast.org/episodes. psychiatricsecrets.libzn.com. psychiatrypodcast.com/psychiatry-psychotherapy-podcast. psychopharmacology.libzn.com. sagepsychology.publications.libzn.com. sbr-show/dr-bernie-bernie-beitman-md. stitcher.com/podcast/the-JAMA-network/JAMA-author-interviews-covering-research-science. theminddeconstructed.org/episodes. A list of psychiatry YouTube channels from blog.feedspot.com/psychiatrist_YouTube_channels. youtube.com/channels/ukdmhg3nehq0j1cdhbg/videos. youtube.com/channels/ucru30pnb3hqyz382i4naxw/videos. youtube.com/user/columbia-psych/videos. youtube.com/channels/ucorexsui2eujuf5fhzp_zw/videos. youtube.com/user/European psychiatric/videos. youtube.com/user/American psychiatric/videos. youtube.com/channels/ucmepix-vwjw-t-1qhsq/videos. youtube.com/channels/ucc4pow47zto61vzvvd-xq/videos. youtube.com/channels/ucmpnj4g6i8psi6fvndrb9q0q/videos. youtube.com/channels/uc9coaq4fs9mintbcubxcjw/videos. youtube.com/user/cognitive psychiatry/videos. youtube.com/channels/ucsbq-fu2-kyf1fdsrgbnzq/videos. youtube.com/channels/ucjotzgduv-p2jtsc5nkvzac/videos. youtube.com/channels/ucsounds_vthpkd0mc2g0ldveoa/videos. youtube.com/user/open-paradigm-project/videos. youtube.com/channels/uc0boxw_bqqk6ml4iy4fzyeg/videos. youtube.com/channels/ukunqajmr9qdqdgcwpuwjg/videos. youtube.com/user/rcof-psychiatrists/videos. youtube.com/channels/uconnexf0kcxdtxlrhgcu5a3g/videos. youtube.com/channels/ucvzhg8nqo0sum8chiwba/videos. youtube.com/user/psychiatry lectures/videos. youtube.com/channels/uc3fur-lwq9 cryo-kdxl-zora/videos. youtube.com/user/Peter Beregjan/videos. youtube.com/watch?v=v Ruq4 youtube.com/watch?v=fzxsobn31ey. youtube.com/watch?v=lpio9mtomby. youtube.com/watch?v=fdvms_bvzrq. youtube.com/watch?v=bpsr9wbqjbq. youtube.com/watch?v=arq3ww5rebm. youtube.com/watch?v=cj3hum0ni194. youtube.com/watch?v=vhj4s4l15dc. youtube.com/watch?v=xcwtc4bnso. youtube.com/watch?v=0oxfve1-k08. Some psychiatry news websites from feedspot.com/news/psychiatry. Mad in America. madinamerica.com. Psychiatric drug facts. breachigen.com. Reddit Psychiatry. readyt.com. Medscape Psychiatry. medscape.com. Science Daily Psychiatry News. sciencedaily.com. Department of Psychiatry. psych.ox.ac.uk. The University Department of Psychiatry. The American Journal of Psychiatry. ajp.psychiatryonline.org. Real Psychiatry. real-psychiatry.blogspot.com. Now Psych Online Psychiatry. nowpsych.com. The College of Psychiatrists of Ireland. irishpsychiatry.ie. rcpsych. youtube.com. The Royal College of Psychiatrists. Critical Psychiatry. criticalpsychiatry.blogspot.com. Refusing Psychiatry. refusingpsychiatry.blogspot.com. Bullet Psych. bulletpsych.com. Free daily online training program.